Hello there. This was Ian Ancot with the famous AutoHub Show, but today it's not live, unlike what's behind me. Today I'm doing a one-on-one interview show, and I have Boris talking about Let You Know Inc. I hope that's correct. I don't want to guess Boris's last name spelling, but maybe he can spell it for me and pronounce it. But Boris, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about why the car industry and your story about how you got into it.
Well, hello everybody. So last name is Zhukov, Zhukov, but it doesn't really matter. You can call me B. I guess the way I got into the automotive industry was mostly by chance. It wasn't exactly some kind of deliberate plan that I concocted, a long time ago. It just happened to be that way, and so. I happened to collect a lot of data of automotive transactions, and then as I was developing different mathematical models, I realized that we can actually facilitate all these different transactions instantly, and I created matching models. Kind of like, say, it's not exactly the same, but in Google, what is Google? It's a search. How does it work? Well, you put in whatever you want to search, you hit search, and boom, you got the results. But that's based on the ranking, right? There are some algos involved behind the scenes, and that's why you see, those ranked results, on the first page, second page, and so on. Well, the same is true with our model. People bid, okay, and you get instant results. So that means that you as a consumer, you want to get your deal, you build your car and you bid, you name your own price, and it's instant. But behind that, you have algos. Well, those algos got to be based on something. You cannot just develop mathematical models that are based on thin air, right? It has to be empirically justified. When I say empirically justified, that means that it's got to be based on real data, right? And that's something that I happen to collect, and over time it allowed me to develop all these different models, right? So you can think of it as it's just a random chance, right? That I happened to stumble on the wealth of that data set. So that's the journey. Now, in reality, of course, there were a lot of different, different points. You can call them inflection points where certain things expedited, or it was a little bit of a grind. But you came across, like in your life, you typically come across different people, and they also shape in some way your views and how you start approaching businesses. And it also helped us to get into the automotive because of those growing connections. A lot more people got interested. A lot of dealers, automotive group owners got interested in Let You Know. And so we built the entire infrastructure and the marketplace itself. I mean, and at the core of it, it's all about transactions, like instant transactions and committed buyers. That's the key. So that's what happened. Well, to cut the long story short, I guess.
100%. So obviously we have dealers that are afraid of big language like algorithms and big data and all kinds of things, but they probably lean in when they say instant transactions and adjusting prices and maybe automating things. Can you shed some light on what dealers are experiencing as they move to your model and they say, "Hey, I want to sell more cars versus sell less cars. How can I, reach out to customers, but more importantly, move more metal?" Being that we are in the automotive industry and the sexy part of the business, as we all know, is selling cars. So how does that work?
Well, of course, of course. I mean, that's the big question. At the end of the day, you gotta, move the inventory, which means you gotta get them buyers, right? So the way it works right now, and again, I'm not trying to demean the industry, but the way it works right now, everybody are chasing leads. That's how it used to be with a lot of other industries, such as hotels, hospitality, right? You had travel agents, and those businesses were chasing leads, but then they shifted the dynamic to buyers, right? So what
Yep.
we are trying to do, we are trying to bring those buyers to dealers and do so without dealers doing anything. So imagine that you have a dealership and or picture that scenario. So you have a dealership and you want to get more buyers. and we prop you. We say, hey, you sign up with us, you set those hidden prices, okay, those matrices. You do that once within could be as little as 30 seconds. You can go granular, but the point is you can get it all done, within a few minutes, and you're done for life. And from that point on, you do nothing, you pay nothing, okay, and you can only get buyers. And when I say buyers, I'm talking about people who are committed. So that means that me as a buyer, what do I do now? I research the deal. I go and shop around. I go to one dealer, I go to the next, I go to different websites. Eventually, I have my best price. But as I do so, a lot of dealers are wasting their time because I go from one, use that information against them, back and forth, and eventually I spiral that price all the way down, right? And at none of those points, me as a buyer, I'm committed at all to a transaction, right? And so would let you know whenever we detect that, we say, hey, so we pop up, at at that buyer's doorstep, so to speak, virtually, right, and say, hey, why don't you name your own price? And so they get to know, bid their own price, but as they do so, they put the credit card, okay, for a prepayment of that bid. It doesn't go on top, but it's a prepayment if it goes through. If it doesn't go through, you pay nothing. You can try again. You can bid as many times as you like, of course, until again it goes through, and it's instant, and you don't know whether it's yes or no. But the point is, that's a commitment. You see, in fact, I talked to a couple of our customers because I'm always trying to get the feedback, and I also read pretty religiously. Okay, so I read religiously those Google reviews because I want to know what people experience, what kind of hiccups they have. And anyway, so a couple of customers, they almost gave me some sense that instead of treating Let You Know as a research platform, because we're not, they said, you guys are akin to something like a checkout page. And that's exactly what it is. It's that final step. We catch you, we give you all the tools to name your own price. But then here's the kicker. You are committed if it goes through. You see? So every single transaction could be terminal. When I say terminal, it means that you bid and you don't know if it's a yes. That's it. Exactly. You are the buyer. Now think about this, okay? You said that a lot of dealers are scared maybe whenever you throw those big words, right? Algos and big data. But the key is you don't need to worry about any of that. That's actually handled by Let You Know, by our developers, by our team. And so none of those big terminology, okay, and those big scientific, okay, words actually really mean anything beside convenience and beside the fact that if you do get someone from Let You Know, that's a buyer. That's it. It's a committed buyer, and we have a separate agreement with you where we even wire you the money from us. And whatever you get from us, plus the remaining balance, okay, that the buyer has after they prepay their bid to Let You Know, that will definitely clear that hidden threshold that you set. So from your perspective, you set it once, and from that point on, for life, you're just getting buyers or miss bids, and you will know what to do with both of them. And you did absolutely nothing. You paid absolutely nothing. So that means that we are able to lower your transaction and search costs. In fact, if we are highly successful, that means we can actually lower your customer acquisition cost all the way to zero. We are handing you real buyers. What you do with those guys now is up to you. You want to sell them F&I products? We do not interfere. We do not encroach into your business. We'll let you do you flourish. And that's the whole point. It's all about buyers. We are handing you committed buyers. It's all about quick transactions. That's exactly what we're all about. It's about lowering the cost. We are going all the way to zero. And the more we do, the more we're going to offer you, because it's not going to be just new cars. We're going to get into fixed stops. In fact, we just tested already one transaction about oil change, alignment. Somebody got a deal, but then the dealer sold them a whole bunch of other extra stuff. Well, that's great. We are giving you, again, those committed buyers, right? And we want to get into used cars. Right now, it's all about new cars, but we want to get into used cars just to get you. Now, those are leads. Just to show, here's your price, and they're going to be like a voucher, if the customer is getting connected, okay, and you want to issue vouchers, like let's say $200 off, right, from your prices, and we give you those leads, and you close them. Guess what? That's going to be also for free. Why? Because we want to lower the cost. By lowering the cost, we're going to give access to more deals to customers, which is excellent. So that means that it's a win-win situation, right? And you get to do you and everything else just goes complementary. That means there is absolutely no distraction in terms of what your team is focused and what they are doing today. There is zero change in your processes. There is literally nothing that's different except you're getting the incremental business for free by doing nothing. Your team is good at selling. Excellent. Keep selling at those sticker prices. You need to move everything else. Here's let you know for you. It's actually, if you think about it, it's almost like somebody gonna say, well, I invented the internet. Do you want to use it or not? Of course you want to use it. I mean, why not, right? I mean, you can only get extra out of it. Well, the same would let you know it's right here. You can think of it as a vendor, but in reality, it's much closer to you driving it yourself. We don't set any prices. We have no idea what you even set in our system as those hidden prices. You drive the show. We give you all the tools, and we're just our goal is just to connect you to those buyers. That's it. And you get access through our marketplace by doing anonymously all of that. That means that you never disclose any of your prices at all.
So how do you guys make money? I mean,
We make money. Yeah, that's a great question. We make money on the buyer side, right? Because when you prepay your bid, so let's say if I'm a buyer, right? So what do I do today? Well, the way it works for me is I go online, I research, those dealers online, and I get like some kind of idea what I'm going to be paying for the car, and then I start negotiating with those dealers, right? At some point, I have my price. Well, if Let You Know is available, okay, instead of me playing this game more and more and more, I can actually just bid my own price. I'm going to bid slightly less, right? So, like, let's say if the best offer I got is 30,000, well, I'm going to bid, let's say 29,800 as an example, right? Which is $200 less. If it goes through, I already prepaid $799. Okay, $799 is not a magic number. It's a number that commits over 99% of people, after which they don't get cold feet. That's the key. Now, the remaining balance at the dealership is 29,000. Well, 29,800 minus 799, right? It's 29,000 and a dollar. Okay, plus taxes, government fees, taxes and tax, titling, that kind of stuff. But all dealer fees are included. Okay, and separately, so inside that 799, we are making money. But separately, it's a separate agreement. It's totally decoupled from these buyer transaction. There is a simultaneous transaction with the dealer where Let You Know is paying the dealer at least $500. So that means that the dealer is getting from us $500 as indirect income, and because that's not part of the automotive transaction, whatever we actually charge the buyer, and then the remaining balance, that's where the car transaction starts, of the buyer, which is 29,000 and a dollar. When you add those two up, what they get from us, Let You Know, and what they get from the buyer, that will definitely clear the hidden threshold. But we make on the buyer side, and that makes sense because that's how we are able now to commit them to you, right? Because otherwise, I mean, think about this. If I'm a buyer and I prepaid absolutely nothing, so that means forget about that. Let You Know is not making any money. But now there is absolutely no commitment. And what I'm going to do as a buyer, I can tell you, I'm going to bid again and again and again, and I keep canceling the previous one if the next bid is accepted. And I'm going to keep playing this game until I get lower and lower and lower and lower, right? And in fact, even then, I'm not done. I'm going to take it to the dealer and try to negotiate, right? So the point is, I'm going to play this game to infinity. We wouldn't want that, right? We want to give power to both sides. Both of you got actual win-win situations on your hands. You want to name your price? Here you go. If it goes through, that's it. You're committed. It's a done deal. And then sellers or dealers, you want to get buyers, set your prices. The only thing you're going to get back are going to be buyers who are going to clear that hidden threshold, and you pay absolutely nothing. Our goal is to lower your search transaction and eventually marketing, which means that customer acquisition costs all the way to zero. You want to resell something to those buyers, you're not going to think of them as Let You Know buyers. You're going to think of them as your own buyers, right? Because like we talked before, where do dealers make most of their money, or at least they should, on the fixed side? Well, guess what? Retarget them. Of course, we're going to target them for a whole bunch of other stuff, but those are your buyers as well. Retarget them, get them back to the dealership, right? Offer them free oil change or whatnot, and try to engage with them. Try to build that really good customer business relationship, because at the end of the day, it's all about repeat business.
So what's the upside for dealers that are already using your software? Like what are they seeing on a monthly, daily basis versus not using it? Like what kind of results are they getting?
Well, our dealers, they already are starting to get buyers. We are not full speed yet because I need to build, because we are missing a lot. I can tell you that much. When I say a lot, we are missing a lot of buyers who want to bid on certain cars that we don't have. So our network started to grow pretty fast in the past year. Okay, we didn't have a lot of dealers. Now we have over 140, and we need 400 dealers. Once we have 400 dealers on our network, we can go full speed nationwide because we're going to cover over 97% of all different combinations, of our cars, brand new cars that people want to bid. Today, we don't want to go full speed is because we're going to get a lot of slack that's going to, a lot of smack that customers going to give us, right? Why? Because they're going to say, how come I cannot build this car? How come I cannot bid on this car? And today, we are building our user base. And I keep communicating with those guys. And in fact, my team does it as well. We talk to them, we get their feedback. And a lot of times they say, hey, I wanted to bid on this car, but you guys didn't have it. So we don't want to go full speed and get that negative kind of feedback because that's going to translate into Google reviews that are going to be negative, and that's going to really, kind of dampen the whole brand, right? So we want to get it to a point where, look, we build the supply side and then bam, we go full speed. In the meantime, you as a dealer, you sign up, you pay absolutely nothing. The worst you're going to get is the buyer. Well, that sounds good to me. I mean, and then that's exactly what happens. A buyer here, a buyer there, you paid nothing, you did nothing. All of a sudden, that's just incremental business. We go full speed on marketing nationwide because we get our 400. Guess what? You're going to get more, and then it's a flow, right? And as we open doors to more goods and services inside of our infrastructure, guess what? All of a sudden, you're going to get fixed operations covered as well. So you look at your service and you see it's 50% empty. Guess what? You're going to be thinking, let me give those discounts, right? Those promotions on timing belt, on the battery, on brake pad replacement. We say, hey, not so fast. Keep running it as is now. We're just going to get your customers on those hidden thresholds that you're going to set once on your autopilot. And that's what you're going to get, those customers. It's pretty, slow today. Well, let us fill it up, and then we'll offer used cars as leads, not buyers, because it's not going to be name your own price, but we get you those leads for free. That's good for you. That means that you actually have now a way to get used car customers, again, at a zero acquisition cost. That's excellent. And a lot of times also keep in mind, whenever you get used customers, they also have trade-ins. So that means that, you're handling now higher volume. And I know dealers are making the most of their money on getting customers to give them their trade-ins, right? Instead of going to different auctions and so on, incurring a lot of cost, right? And that's exactly what this is all about. It's reducing or minimizing all of these costs, and our goal to eventually drive it all the way to zero, because that's exactly what we charge, right?
So where do people find out about Let You Know, and how can they get signed up in this early period and take advantage before, say, their competition? How do they do that? And details will be below in the description, but go ahead.
Well, it's pretty easy. One way to sign up, of course, you can contact us. For instance, me, Boris, at letyouknow.com. Of course, you can find me on all social media. You can call our toll-free number, which you can find from letyouknow.com. Go to contact us. But also you can go to dealer portal to register directly, and then we send you, the agreement and through electronic means, right, such as DocuSign. Okay, but it's dealer.letyouknow.com. Pretty easy, and you can click sign up and fill in all the information for your dealership, and that's it. In fact, in a few months, that's going to be taken a step further. Dealers will be able to sign up and do the DocuSign and do even out their hidden pricing settings on autopilot right in the same step as the DocuSign. So it's all going to be integrated as one giant step. But right now we actually have to do it separately, just because that's hasn't been done yet. But it's coming. So but that's pretty easy. And also you can email us. info@letyouKnow.com. Like I said, you can message me on any social media platform. You can message Let You Know on any social media platform. In fact, there were a couple of dealers who did that. They contacted us on Facebook, they contacted us on Instagram, they contacted us on LinkedIn, and they also contacted us even on our homepage. We have a live chat as well. And some of those dealers had great conversations, really highly constructive questions that they had, and our team was able to give them on-point answers right away. So we are available across the board, 360. Whatever you like to to use, we have you covered. So.
Awesome. So don't miss out on Let You Know. Get on and get some more buyers for nothing out of your pocket. Obviously, the program is expanding into service and eventually used cars, but get in before your competition does. And thanks very much, Boris, for taking the time to explain Let You Know. I know dealers aren't as technically savvy as they might want to be in some cases, but really it's about moving more metal, attracting more customers, and selling more of everything. And unlike some of the people out in the market that are kind of scaring people a little bit, which is like Amazon Auto, Boris is not interested in his company, not interested in getting into the car business. They're just interested in helping you find buyers who are actual buyers who want to put a deal together and aren't just wasting your time. So have yourself a great Easter weekend. If you're watching this on Easter weekend, I may not have it edited by then. And of course, if you don't celebrate Easter, just have a great long weekend. And thanks again for the time, Boris, to explain the solution. And don't worry, it's not that complicated. They'll make it easy to let you know. Have yourself a great day. Bye for now.
Thank you so much. See you. Awesome.